Hi, in this slide, we want to explore how we worked with this contractor to get his uptime um, metric so good so quickly. And basically, we took a fishbone diagram approach. We said if the head of the fishbone diagram is uptime ratio going up, getting better, then what are the downstream factors that could contribute to lowering it or raising it? So, for example, chronologically, if a customer calls and says, "Hi, I've got a problem, and we're going to try to book labor to go solve the problem," what would be the questions that we would ask to increase the accuracy of the assessment of the total job that needed to be done, and how payment was to be taken care of at the end? Those kind of things. So again, using logs and just brainstorming with case studies of, well, when did you get somewhere and it was not what you thought, and no, knowing that, what would we have asked, so they came out with a very systematic protocol of questions that the booking people would use. The second thing is when you say, okay, this is what we know about doing the job, what are the job ingredients that we're going to need, and what are the skills we're going to need to do it? Because it turns out that not all the people on the tech crew were equally skilled at doing all kinds of different jobs. They created a grid, and they said those people who are qualified, certified, can prove that they can do the most number of skills really are worth the highest average hourly base pay. The people that are least efficient get a lower base pay. But what's interesting is some of the biggest, easiest volume jobs, could you come out and do the same thing times 50, and it's a very simple job. A beginner could do that, but the beginner can't do 80% of the other jobs. So we could send a highly skilled person out to solve, the more exotic jobs, but it may not be as lucrative a billing job. So there's a mismatch. The rookie looks like he's making a lot of money, and if he got a fraction of his action, then he'd be making a lot of money, and that's not fair because he's just getting the plum jobs because that's all he can do. So they said, well, first of all, we need to have a skills, development. Everybody's got to get as robust and well trained across the board as possible. So let's give you automatic raises for every skill set you can master to the point where you max out on wages for being able to do 25 different kinds of jobs. And they've weighted it. Some are more important than others and so forth. So they weighted it all out based on a target labor rate of our hourly payroll rate. But then, so that was the skills part, and then job ingredients. What would go into the tote box that you'd actually take into the job with you? Anticipating you need most of the things in the tote box to get the job done. And then, if we keep logs, what are things we can do to minimize go backs to the van because we have all the ingredients in the tote box we need, we have all the prerequisite tools in our toolkit, and so forth. Then what are just in case parts and pieces and tools we'd actually carry in the van as opposed to in the tool bag into the job as opposed to the shop. And so we want to strike a balance between having least amount of inventory in the system, shop, van, bag, but to have the right stuff in the right location based on what we're finding out from our log feedback. So by doing that and coming up with systematic solutions for all these upstream contributors, the uptime ratio continued to climb past past 6 hours for every 8 hours of payroll time paid. So that's how they did it with fishbone diagram analysis. Thank you.